And this guy is up running for president. Like, he's actually up there. Like, what is like the top 4?
I think so.
Because no, he's top 3. Because it's actually I've looked at it recently. Cruz, he's above Jeb now.
Is he?
Yeah. It goes Trump. And then Ben Carson, excuse me, and then this crazy fool. Yeah, he's in the top 4. Like, this is the guy that we have in the top contention for the Republican nomination, and they're able to say this ridiculous stuff. The number 1 guy just says completely outlandish things. But even Ben Carson has been saying ridiculous stuff. Like, Ben Carson's like, oh yeah, I tried to stab a guy and I'm so cool for it. No, Mr. Carson, you're not. Like,
that's
like, what is this? Like,
it gives Obama a lot of support to stand on with his comments that, I have a lot of faith in the American wisdom. I'm not worried. I think my successor is going to be a Democrat. It gives him a lot of support in that because if this is what the Democrats have to run against, this kind of outlandishness, this divisiveness, this evil garbage coming out of these people's mouths, like, that's...
And the reason why we have to attack them on these outlandish things that they say, and I won't even say attack, call them out on the outlandish things that they say, because I don't have to attack you when you say stuff like that. The reason why we have to call them out is because they're not giving us any policy positions to critique. Like, at least when it comes to many of the Democratic debates, well, pretty much every Democratic debate, there has been policy positions that you can critique and actually look at to see what this person's going to be like in the White House. And they act cordially, so you don't have to worry about them being a crazy madman in there. Cruz, the positions that these guys are running on is, we're going to end Obamacare. We're going to completely repeal Obamacare, and we're going to quadruple our military. No way how they're going to get this money to do this. The fact that, you're going to take millions of people off of healthcare after they just now got it?
Yeah.
You're going to re-regulate the insurance companies, or deregulate them again, to allow them to do the things they were doing before, not paying out people's premiums when they get injured after paying into an insurance for 10 to 15 years. I don't need you for 15 years. My leg breaks. Since you didn't tie your own shoe, it's your fault and we're not going to cover it. Type crap that they would pull. This is what you're trying to get power back to, Mr. Cruz. An obviously broken and flawed system. Yes, Obamacare needs to be reworked. Yes, it needs to be improved. He stated that himself before he even put it out there. Instead of trying to destroy it, how about we fix it?
Exactly. I mean, it's the first stepping stone in America getting universal health care. Like, there's going to be bumps and bruises. It's not going to be perfect.
And remember, we said, like, we're on lists with countries like Tanzania and stuff. Like this is, like, ridiculous. Like, what is...
I don't get it, people.
Oh, no, excuse me, it was Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, Papua New Guinea. And that was the maternity leave.
Maternity leave. Like, these are the lists that we're on, people. We're on the same list as Papua New Guinea when it comes for basic human rights. Basic human needs. You have a baby, you should not have to go back to work next week. That's kind of simple,
common
right?
sense. I mean, you still haven't healed up yet. Like,
what is this? What are we forcing people to live, like, and to do? Childhood poverty rate, second lowest in the world. Like, or of standardized or modernized nations. Like, come on.
And our minimum wage is a joke, and most of these guys want to
abolish them.
They think it's too high. They say it's too high. Although there are reports upon reports and stats and numbers proving that it's actually way too low. That in Hawaii you have to work like over 100 hours or something like that a week to be able to live there, to pay rent, to eat. You got to work over 100 hours. And they think $7.25 is too high?
All I'm asking for people to do, don't listen to me, don't listen to Jason, Go check this stuff out. All we can do is tell you about it. I can't convince you of nothing. Only person who convinced you of something is you. Honestly. Go look at this stuff. Go check into it. Don't just listen to the stuff they spout out their mouth. Anyone can make something sound good. Oh, we're going to make them pay for the wall in Mexico. How are you actually going to do that? Has that ever been done in the history of mankind? So, China got the Mongolians to pay for the Great Wall.
Right? That happened.
That happened.
That's the part that they hid, in the history books, but that's what really happened.
Just pay attention to the facts. Look at it for yourself. Stop just listening to people. Oh, he said something that roused me up, so I'm going to stand behind him. No. Just because he makes a good speech and he's boisterous does not mean that he's helping you at fixing anything. That's why I say don't listen to me. I don't care how much I rant and rave. Look up some facts. Even I'll mess up on facts.
I mean, even just and I've been cursing and I'm sorry, but you got to learn how to... And you gotta recalibrate your bullshitometer.
Yeah.
When I'm watching these videos of some of these people speak, I go, that's bullshit. That don't sound right. And we
were listening to Trump earlier. One of Trump's
one of his top advisors, Michael Cohen. We were listening to him, and this
is what he says about your bullshitometer. Automatically goes off. This guy was like, Trump's a very intelligent man. He remembers everything. There has never been a time he has said something and I didn't go back and check it and it wasn't correct.
And what was so perfect about that moment is that Jake Tapper was the guy who was interviewing. He starts to go on to his next question and just goes, wait, seriously? And then the guy said, yes, seriously.
Seriously?
And it's oh, okay. And then ask the next question. If your bullshitometer doesn't go off on that,
it went off so hardcore. He stopped his whole train of thought, stopped the entire show, just to be really?
His pitch changed everything.
Very unprofessional.
Yes. If that doesn't happen to you in these situations, whether it be presidential debates, campaigns, whatever, when you're looking at new senators, whatever, governors, mayors, if that doesn't go off for you at all, you really need to readjust that, because these people are throwing a lot of BS out right now. And on the Democrat side, they're doing all the work in the world to fact check them and to, I don't know why, to break them down. But then on the Republican side, they just let it go.
Yeah.
It's not cool. You need to pay attention. You need to listen to these people.
Stop this rhetoric with liberal media crap.
Yes.
The liberal media is like us random people on the internet that is just now coming up, and I'm not even that liberal. People are doing something so outlandish that I seem much more liberal than I really am. I'm sorry I may come off like a liberal, but I'm quite conservative. People just doing some ridiculous shit. I can't help but not say it's ridiculous. But stop listening to this, the mainstream media is liberal. No, the mainstream media is quite conservative.
Very.
And look at the largest news corporation in the United States, Fox, been around for pretty much the longest. What are they? A conservative news station. No matter how even they try to make it seem, they are conservative on their ideologies and what they say. They are the biggest company out there. That's who you look for when you're like, is it media conservative or is it liberal? If it was liberal, the biggest company would be a liberal company. But the biggest company has been run and continues to run by conservatives. And they pretty much stamp all news that comes after them. So our media is very conservative. So stop thinking or stop letting them tell you these liberal people are trying to destroy them. No, people are using the facts, the words that come out of their mouths. I don't use anything but the words that come out of their mouths, even if they're paraphrased a little bit. It's what they said. That's all I need to use to show how horrible of a person you are. I don't need to make stuff up. It comes out of your face. When it comes out of your own face, I didn't make it. You did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm laughing because it reminded me of Rush Hour. And hey, Chris Tucker, do you understand the words that are coming out? Hell yeah, I understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. And it smells like a bunch of BS.
the words that came out of Trump's mouth is we need to have a list with all Muslims to be documented in this country. Those are the words that came out of his mouth.
Muslim Americans.
They need to be documented. But then afterwards, he's like, "Oh, that's not what I meant. Only the ones who cause a threat to America." Those are not the words that came out of your mouth.
I didn't suggest a database. It was the interviewer who suggested the database. But you agreed to it. And then you went on to other outlets and said a database. So yeah, you did say database. You agreed with it. And you took it another step forward and started talking about special IDs and closing down mosques because they're somehow good and bad ones. Pay attention, people. It's do your research. Do not go into the polls next November uninformed and just going off of whatever BS lie they have told you. Do the research. Don't be a puppet. Don't. It's not worth it. Don't lose your freedom to let this person come in and, quite frankly, destroy America.
And if you think this doesn't impact you, then you might want to leave the country, because every law that is passed impacts you. Everything that happens in this country impacts you. And if it doesn't impact you, it impacts someone else next to you, which, guess what? By proxy, impacts you. So don't just think that, politics are annoying, I'm just not going to get into it, I don't want to look up the facts. It's pretty much your job in a democracy.
Absolutely. Especially if you're supposed to vote. And there's one last thing I want to say, and it's again, it brings it back to Trump again, but it can go for all Cruz. Of them. It was a John Kasich ad attacking Trump. We all know he allocated a bunch of money to just attacking Trump.
It was like, what, $2 million or something?
Yeah, it was like $2 million or something like that. And the ad, it has this guy, I don't know the guy's name, I think he's a senator or something, and he's basically saying, you may not care what Trump has to say because he's attacking the Muslims. You may not care what he has to say because, you're not a Muslim, or you're not black, or you're not whatever.
Or you're not a Hispanic that he's calling a racist.
Yeah. But give it time. He will get to you.